Every rider knows that moment when a machine seems to speak. Not through words, but through motion, through the sound of its engine, through the feeling it sends up the handlebars. It is not about speed alone. It is about rhythm, craft, and the idea that maintenance is more than repair. It is a ritual of understanding, a practice that turns a piece of metal into a living companion. In a world moving toward automation, the simple act of caring for a motorcycle becomes a quiet rebellion against disposability. This story looks at how one machine captures that balance of art and engineering, of soul and precision. It is a story of design restraint meeting modern performance, and of how a classic silhouette hides a world of innovation waiting beneath the surface. Stay tuned, hit like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments which machine you want us to dive into next. The BMW nineT 2022 enters the scene as both tribute and challenge. A motorcycle that invites you to question what modern really means. On the surface, it is unmistakably familiar. A low stance, exposed engine, and the kind of proportions that recall the golden age of motorcycling. Yet beneath that sculpted tank and brushed aluminum lies technology that could only exist in the present. The nineT was born from BMW's desire to reconnect with its roots, to deliver a motorcycle that does not hide behind screens or excessive electronics, but still benefits from the precision and reliability that define contemporary engineering. Its foundation is the 1,170 cubic centimeters air and oil-cooled Boxer twin, a design that has powered generations of BMW motorcycles. In the 2022 model, it produces a refined 109 horsepower, but numbers tell only part of the story. The real character comes from its delivery. The Boxer layout creates a distinctive pulse that feels mechanical yet smooth, organic yet deliberate. Each twist of the throttle reminds you that this is a motorcycle built to be felt, not filtered. The engine is the heart of the nineT, but its body, its stance, and its finish are what transform it from transport into sculpture. The frame is a modular steel tube design, allowing for customization and versatility without compromising rigidity. It is both a visual anchor and a practical framework that invites riders to make the machine their own. BMW intentionally left the frame exposed, celebrating the geometry of engineering rather than hiding it behind panels. Even the wiring is neatly routed to maintain a clean, almost minimal aesthetic. That honesty of form is rare in modern motorcycles, where plastic and covers often disguise the mechanical truth beneath. The nineT takes the opposite approach. It shows you everything, as if proud of its own anatomy. Riding position is upright but engaged. Handlebars slightly forward, pegs set for control rather than comfort alone. The saddle, depending on variant, ranges from a single-seat cafe style to a two-up touring arrangement. Each configuration alters the motorcycle's personality, just enough to match different kinds of riders. This adaptability mirrors the broader philosophy behind the nineT. Individuality without excess, simplicity without sacrifice. Every bolt and bracket seems to serve a purpose, reinforcing the idea that beauty and function can coexist when design is guided by restraint. The suspension setup combines a conventional telescopic fork up front and a paralever single-sided swing arm at the rear. BMW's decision to use a traditional fork rather than its signature telelever system was deliberate. It offers a more direct feel, connecting the rider to the road with less mechanical mediation. The nineT is about engagement, not insulation. You feel the texture of asphalt, the weight transfer in corners, and the subtle shifts in balance that make riding an immersive experience. The electronic suspension adjustment system adds a layer of modern finesse, adjusting damping in real time without dulling the ride's authenticity. Braking is handled by dual 320mm front discs with radial-mounted calipers and a single 265mm rear disc, all managed by Cornering ABS Pro. The inclusion of Cornering ABS represents a quiet revolution in safety. It gives confidence without interfering with the rider's sense of control. Traction control and ride modes are similarly understated, present when needed but never intrusive. BMW engineers seemed intent on making technology serve the rider, not the other way around. That restraint defines the nineT's identity more than any spec sheet could. Visually, the 2022 nineT blends industrial honesty with fine detail. The tank seams are visible, polished rather than hidden. The aluminum accents are brushed, not chromed. The headlight housing integrates a subtle LED ring, a nod to modernity within a classic form. It is the kind of design that rewards attention. The kind that feels cohesive even as it mixes eras. Some motorcycles demand to be noticed. The nineT invites quiet admiration instead. It is confident enough not to shout. Customization remains central to its appeal. BMW offers a wide catalog of factory parts, from milled aluminum components to alternate seat units and paint schemes. Yet the real magic happens in workshops and garages, where owners personalize their nineT to match their vision. The modular frame allows for quick swaps of subframes, exhausts, and controls, making it a favorite among builders. This accessibility turns ownership into participation. The nineT is less a finished product than a platform for expression. That spirit of expression carries into how the motorcycle rides. The throttle response is linear but purposeful. It invites finesse rather than aggression. At lower speeds, the engine's pulse gives the ride a rhythmic tempo, encouraging awareness of every motion. On open roads, it reveals a broad torque curve that delivers effortless acceleration without drama. There is a satisfying mechanical honesty to it all, as if the machine is constantly reminding you that power can be graceful. The sound complements that character. A deep, deliberate rumble from its twin exhausts that evolves into a crisp note under load. In traffic, the nineT feels compact, maneuverable, and surprisingly civil. Its clutch action is smooth, the gearbox precise, the overall demeanor balanced. Yet when the road opens up, it transforms into something far more engaging. Not intimidating, but deeply responsive. It does not overwhelm with power. It communicates through precision. That quality is what separates it from trend-driven machines that rely on spectacle. The nineT's strength lies in how it feels rather than how it performs on paper. There is a reason riders often describe it as soulful. Soul, in this context, is not a mystical quality. It is the product of harmony between sound, motion, and feedback. The 2022 BMW nineT delivers that in every mile. It does not isolate you from the mechanical process of riding. Instead, it celebrates it. Each vibration, each shift, each lean angle becomes part of a dialogue between human and machine. In that dialogue lies the essence of what makes this motorcycle timeless. To understand its full impact, one must see the nineT not as a nostalgic exercise but as a statement of values. It represents a belief that progress should refine, not replace, tradition. The 2022 update, with its -€5 compliance and refined electronics, embodies that belief perfectly. It meets the demands of modern regulation without losing the feel that defines its heritage. It is a motorcycle that acknowledges its past while embracing its future, bridging the divide between craftsmanship and code. The nineT's appeal also lies in its restraint. It is not chasing records or redefining categories. It is content to be what it is, a pure, analog experience enhanced by subtle digital intelligence. In an era of ride-by-wire everything, its cable-operated throttle and exposed mechanicals feel refreshingly direct. The attention to tactile detail, the click of the switchgear, the feel of the levers, the grain of the seat, reminds you that good design lives in small gestures. Ultimately, the 2022 BMW nineT stands as a declaration that simplicity still has a place in modern motorcycling. It does not compete on numbers or novelty. It wins by connection. The 2022 BMW nineT continues its story not through radical change, but through refinement. Each adjustment in its design and performance aimed at strengthening its dual nature as both classic and contemporary. The engineering beneath its retro form is where this balance truly becomes visible. BMW's approach to the nineT has always been to create an emotional experience grounded in technical precision. It is a motorcycle that feels alive, yet behaves predictably under pressure. The engineering challenge was to keep that authenticity intact while meeting modern expectations for safety, comfort, and environmental responsibility. The Boxer engine, long a symbol of BMW's motorcycle identity, received careful updates to meet -€5 emission standards without dulling its characteristic feel. Engineers redesigned the cylinder heads for better combustion efficiency, optimized intake and exhaust flow, and refined the electronics to deliver smoother throttle response. The result is an engine that breathes cleaner, idles steadier, and still gives that unmistakable Boxer thrum. It is an example of progress guided by respect for heritage. The mechanical layout remains a conversation between simplicity and sophistication. Air and oil cooling remain, but the precision of fuel mapping and engine management has advanced dramatically. Ride-by-wire throttle control introduced more accurate modulation, enabling multiple riding modes: rain, road, and optionally dynamic or dirt in certain variants. Each mode adjusts throttle sensitivity and traction control thresholds, letting the rider fine-tune the motorcycle's behavior to environment or preference. Yet what is most striking is how transparent these systems feel. Rather than intruding, they fade into the background, allowing the rider to remain the central part of the experience. This subtlety is part of the nineT's DNA. Technology is there to serve, not to dominate. The 2022 nineT also benefits from improved suspension calibration. The upside-down fork and paralever rear system now feature better damping characteristics for stability without sacrificing feedback. The optional dynamic electronic suspension adjustment uses sensors to continuously adapt damping to conditions, smoothing the ride while preserving road feel. It transforms long rides into exercises in precision comfort. There is no disconnect between rider input and mechanical response. Instead, there is a sense of clarity, as if the motorcycle anticipates your intent just enough to stay ahead of you. One of the most underappreciated elements of the nineT's design is its modularity. BMW designed the frame with removable subframes, encouraging owners to modify or customize easily. It is not a marketing gimmick. It is a deliberate nod to the custom motorcycle culture that has grown around the model. Builders can remove the tail section to create bobbers, cafe racers, or scramblers, while purists can leave it stock for its clean, timeless proportions. This engineering foresight bridges the gap between manufacturer and rider, allowing individuality without sacrificing integrity. It turns maintenance and modification into creative collaboration. Beyond performance and design, the nineT represents a cultural pivot in how we define mechanical engagement. Traditional maintenance once meant wrenching in garages, adjusting valves, or tuning carburetors by ear. The modern equivalent involves diagnostics, software updates, and system recalibration. Yet the spirit remains the same. The 2022 nineT reinterprets maintenance as stewardship, a relationship that blends analog craftsmanship with digital literacy. Owners must understand not just the mechanical heart, but also the electronic nervous system that governs it. It is a new kind of craft, one that values knowledge as much as skill. The interplay between rider and machine goes deeper than just performance. When a rider leans into a turn, the nineT responds not only through geometry, but also through dynamic systems that subtly balance torque delivery and traction. The gyroscopic forces of the boxer engine add a unique sense of stability mid-corner, while the wide handlebar provides leverage and control. It feels planted, yet playful. At highway speeds, it cruises effortlessly. At slower paces, it invites fine control and balance practice. These layers of feedback make every ride a learning experience, each corner a new conversation. Safety and refinement continue with the inclusion of cornering ABS Pro and automatic stability control as standard. These technologies do not announce themselves with flashing lights or intrusive intervention. They work quietly, ensuring confidence when conditions turn unpredictable. In wet or uneven terrain, they provide subtle adjustments to keep the motorcycle composed. The goal is not to eliminate risk, but to balance it, preserving the raw enjoyment of riding while minimizing the penalties of human error. This philosophy reflects BMW's mature understanding of what riders want: freedom without recklessness. Even the lighting system carries symbolic weight. The full LED setup with adaptive headlight functionality is not just about visibility. It reflects the nineT's fusion of tradition and innovation. The circular headlamp pays homage to vintage designs, while the internal technology represents contemporary sophistication. It is a subtle but powerful reminder that form and function can evolve together. Every component, from the machined fork caps to the cast aluminum wheels, contributes to this theme of cohesive duality. Ergonomics also received careful refinement. The seat height of 31.3 inches offers accessibility for a wide range of riders. The relationship between seat, bars, and pegs provides comfort during longer rides without diluting the sporty stance that defines the nineT's attitude. Even after hours in the saddle, fatigue gives way to content focus rather than discomfort. The sensation is that of a motorcycle that was designed for real-world use, not just showroom appeal. The tactile materials, the way controls fall naturally underhand, all are engineered to reinforce a connection rather than distract from it. When evaluating motorcycles like the nineT, the conversation often drifts toward nostalgia. But nostalgia alone does not sustain a product line through years of evolution. The 2022 BMW nineT succeeds because it is not pretending to be vintage. It is modern craftsmanship that pays respect to timeless design principles. Its refinement is not cosmetic but philosophical. The machine encourages riders to value the process of riding and caring for a motorcycle as an art form. Something meditative, precise, and deeply rewarding. As emission standards tighten and electric mobility gains ground, machines like the nineT occupy an increasingly rare space. They are reminders of tactile engagement, of the sensory richness that mechanical systems can offer. Yet rather than resisting progress, the nineT adapts gracefully to it. Its engine is cleaner, its system smarter, but its purpose remains unchanged. It is not an artifact. It is a bridge. In that sense, the 2022 model represents the living evolution of motorcycling itself, where tradition and technology learn to coexist rather than compete. The emotional core of the nineT lies in how it communicates. The vibrations at idle are not imperfections. They are punctuation marks in a story of movement. The subtle shifts in engine tone tell you when to change gears without glancing at the tachometer. The BMW nineT 2022 stands at the intersection of engineering discipline and emotional resonance. A motorcycle that transcends mere transportation by transforming each ride into a narrative of connection. This final exploration moves beyond specifications to focus on the human experience it creates and the legacy it extends. To understand why the nineT continues to captivate, one must look not only at its mechanical design but also at the deeper philosophy it represents. When you first approach the 2022 BMW nineT, the impression is tactile before it is visual. The cool metal of the tank, the texture of the grips, the solid click of the ignition, all hint at craftsmanship that values substance over spectacle. The machine radiates presence without noise, signaling refinement rather than aggression. As the engine comes to life, the vibration feels alive but contained, an organic heartbeat powered by precision. It sets the tone for what the ride will be. Personal, immediate, and grounded in mechanical truth. What separates the nineT from other motorcycles in its class is its ability to transform routine into ritual. Commuting, weekend rides, even short errands become opportunities for deliberate engagement. Every throttle input has consequence. Every shift demands awareness. In an era when vehicles increasingly isolate their operators from sensation, the nineT insists on participation. It rewards focus with feedback, discipline with harmony. The simplicity of its analog core contrasts sharply with the digital noise of daily life, giving riders a rare sense of calm through concentration. At speed, the 2022 nineT delivers a kind of stability that feels earned rather than programmed. The balance of its boxer engine keeps the weight low, the geometry allows intuitive countersteering, and the suspension communicates road texture with clarity. There is no need to fight the motorcycle. It seems to predict your intent, to translate thought into motion. Long curves become meditative gestures. Straight roads invite reflection rather than boredom. This is riding as conversation, a flow state achieved not through distraction but through direct engagement. Part of the nineT's magic lies in its restraint. Where some motorcycles chase technological dominance, the nineT opts for coherence. It does not overwhelm with modes or screens. It distills everything to what matters most. The result is not simplicity born of omission, but simplicity born of understanding. BMW's engineers recognize that a true rider's machine should not require explanation. It should speak the universal language of mechanics and momentum. The 2022 model perfects that dialogue through small refinements that together create an almost musical harmony between man and machine. That harmony extends into its maintenance culture. Owning a BMW nineT is not about outsourcing every task to a dealer. It is about learning its systems, understanding its rhythms, and participating in its longevity. The air and oil-cooled engine invites familiarity. Valve inspections, oil changes, and minor adjustments are approachable with basic mechanical knowledge. Yet for those less inclined to wrench, The machine's reliability ensures peace of mind without constant attention. This duality, approachable yet advanced, makes it a rare motorcycle that suits both enthusiasts and pragmatists. Culturally, the nineT 2022 speaks to a generation of riders searching for authenticity. It resonates with those who see motorcycles not as fashion statements but as instruments of experience. Custom builders have embraced it as a blank canvas, while purists celebrate its factory form. It embodies a design language that respects history without being trapped by it. This adaptability mirrors the evolving identity of motorcycling itself, where personal expression defines belonging more than brand allegiance. The nineT invites that freedom by being both distinct and flexible. A closer look at its ergonomics and tactile details reinforces this human-centered philosophy. The levers have just the right resistance. The switchgear feels precise without excess force. The saddle's contour supports natural posture, and even the mirrors, often an afterthought, align neatly with the motorcycle's visual rhythm. These small decisions convey intent. They remind the rider that someone, somewhere, cared deeply about the sensory balance between comfort and control. That level of care becomes part of the experience every time you ride. The emotional impact of the nineT often reveals itself not in dramatic moments but in quiet ones. The pause before a long ride, the reflection after a day's journey, the soft ticking of cooling metal as the engine rests. These moments capture why machines like this endure. They create continuity between man and mechanism, memory and motion. The nineT 2022 transforms such ordinary experiences into something reflective, almost meditative, reminding riders that riding can be as much about inner movement as outer travel. It also holds a special place in the conversation about the future of motorcycling. As the industry moves toward electric mobility, connected systems, and automation, the nineT represents a crucial counterpoint. It argues that progress need not erase tactility. It suggests that technology can enhance humanity rather than replace it. The 2022 version demonstrates this balance perfectly. Adaptive electronics coexist with air-cooled authenticity. Compliance exists without compromise. It points to a future where heritage and innovation can sustain each other rather than compete. From an aesthetic standpoint, the nineT's design maturity reveals BMW's long understanding of proportion and purpose. Nothing feels decorative. Everything feels earned. The interplay of curves and edges, metal and paint, function and flourish, all serve a unified intent. Even its imperfections are deliberate, giving texture to its precision. Parked beside machines that chase flashiness, the nineT looks timeless rather than dated. It will likely age with the same grace as the air-cooled icons that inspired it. Beyond the mechanical and artistic, the nineT 2022 connects through philosophy. It embodies a worldview that values longevity, craftsmanship, and respect for the material. In a disposable culture, it is an argument for maintenance as mindfulness. The act of cleaning, adjusting, or even simply observing the machine becomes a kind of dialogue, a reminder that care creates meaning. For many owners, the nineT becomes more than a vehicle. It becomes a ritual companion, a reflection of how they choose to engage with their environment. Every generation of rider seeks something that defines its relationship with freedom. The nineT fills that role not through excess but through essence. It gives just enough power to thrill without intimidation, just enough technology to assist without interference. It reminds riders that satisfaction comes not from domination but from connection. Its enduring appeal comes from this balance. It is accessible yet aspirational, simple yet sophisticated, mechanical yet mindful. Few machines can hold all those contrasts in harmony, yet the nineT does so effortlessly. In many ways, the 2022 nineT serves as a mirror for its rider. The more you invest in it, attention, care, understanding, the more it gives back. It rewards consistency and punishes neglect, teaching lessons that extend beyond the road. Patience, precision, awareness. These qualities shape both good riders and good humans. The BMW nineT 2022 concludes its story as more than a motorcycle. It is an embodiment of balance between craftsmanship and progress. Over nearly a decade since its introduction, the nineT has evolved carefully, each revision refining its purpose without abandoning its core. The 2022 model stands as proof that timeless design and modern technology can coexist without conflict. It reminds us that evolution need not erase character. It can sharpen it. The 2022 BMW R9T represents the maturity of an idea born from BMW's century-long relationship with the Boxer engine. From the early R models to this iteration, the lineage has always prioritized engineering honesty. Each generation refines airflow, weight distribution, and ergonomics while keeping the core sensation intact. That continuity is why the R9T feels familiar even to those who rode its predecessors decades ago. It is the living definition of consistency refined through innovation. Riding the R9T 2022 is less about speed and more about rhythm. The motorcycle invites deliberate pacing, encouraging riders to experience the road as a texture rather than a challenge. This shift in mindset defines the modern classic movement. Machines that reward presence over performance. Every turn of the engine, every mile covered, becomes part of an ongoing dialogue between machine and rider. It is a conversation without words, built from vibration, sound, and motion. The impact of the R9T extends beyond the individual. It has influenced how manufacturers approach the blending of heritage and modernity. By proving that riders still crave tactile connection, it inspired a wave of similarly minded machines from other manufacturers. Yet few have captured the same purity. The R9T succeeds because its balance is not cosmetic. It is structural, emotional, and philosophical. It understands that the essence of motorcycling is not found in novelty, but in the enduring joy of direct engagement. From a design standpoint, the 2022 model represents the ideal form of restraint. Its proportions are timeless. Its materials speak through texture rather than gloss. BMW's decision to keep visible welds, brushed finishes, and functional components on display reinforces its authenticity. The result is a motorcycle that feels both handcrafted and precision-built, a rare union in an age of automation. It shows that honesty in design never goes out of style. Maintenance, the theme that frames the R9T's identity, becomes metaphorical here. To maintain such a motorcycle is to maintain a philosophy. It teaches respect for process, attention to detail, and patience. Whether adjusting valves, cleaning the aluminum surfaces, or simply checking tire pressure, the act itself reconnects the rider with the origins of motion. This care transforms ownership into participation, turning each small act of maintenance into a reflection of larger values: sustainability, longevity, and reverence for craft. In the landscape of 2022, where electrification and automation dominate headlines, the BMW R9T serves as an anchor. It represents what is irreplaceable in the analog experience: the sound, the vibration, the ritual of engagement. It reminds us that progress does not always mean replacement. Sometimes it means refinement. As machines grow quieter and more autonomous, the R9T holds space for those who still seek the tactile heartbeat of mechanical motion. Its legacy will likely endure as one of BMW's defining modern classics. Collectors will prize it not just for its design but for its philosophy. Riders will remember it as a motorcycle that asks them to be present, to participate fully, to see maintenance as mindfulness. It will stand as a symbol of what it means to merge art and engineering in a single coherent form. The story of the BMW R9T 2022 ultimately resolves in gratitude, to the craft that made it, to the riders who sustain it, and to the enduring idea that machines can carry meaning. In the gentle hum of its Boxer twin, there is a reminder that technology can serve beauty when guided by respect. The R9T will continue to evolve, but its essence will remain: a celebration of motion, memory, and meticulous care.